No.
There we are. Good afternoon all. Talk about an anticlimax. There are a couple of great speeches. This is just an absolute rammy. So apologies in advance. My name's Stuart. I went to primary school and secondary school with Ross. And for a year we shared a flat in Edinburgh. For those of you that are wondering why there's so many of us standing up here, Ross kind of touched on this. Ross wants to appoint an incredible speechwriter, one whose oratory would be remembered fondly by his wedding guests for years to come. Sadly, he couldn't find one. So, coupled together several barely competent ones instead. Very much a quantity over quality approach. But there you go. That being the case, Andrew here is going to talk you through Ross's formative adolescent years. Then Ross will give you a brief history of Kirsty and Ross's relationship before... Look out for that. Before Was sums up with a toast. That is, of course, after I've whipped you up into a frenzy. So I'd like to start by laying down a couple of ground rules. Firstly, no heckling, please. Secondly, if you've got a mobile phone, please leave it switched on, keep yourselves entertained. If you think keep your spirits high and expectations low, we'll make it through this. I'd like to reiterate Ross's thanks to the bridesmaids for ensuring Kirsty arrived on time today and managing to do so while they're looking so radiant. Great job. So all be revealed now. It's been great to meet Kirsty's parents. They've done a wonderful job raising Kirsty. You know what they say, two rights don't make a wrong. I thought you might have done. If you like that, stick around. I'm sure we can all agree that the bride looks nothing short of breathtaking today. Though this being the 21st century, it wouldn't be right for me to overlook the fact that Kirsty is also very strong, capable, and intelligent. It just goes to show that it's also true when they say opposites attract. That was just a weak joke, of course. Ross shares all those qualities and many more. Another of his finest qualities is his competitiveness. Ross does not like to be beaten. On his stag do, for example, we went go-karting, as he's mentioned. Needless to say, his eyes were on the prize, and I'd just like to thank all the guys who attended for letting him win. It really made his day. That's all from me. I'll leave you in the very capable hands of Andrew Chan.
Thanks, Stuart. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrew, and I first met Ross at Hermitage Academy Secondary School in Helensburgh. So let me tell you about the Ross I knew in my teens and through our early 20s. If you picture the scene, it's the mid-2000s. Bebo and MSN Messenger are all the rage, whereas Ross was interested in tropical fish, remote control cars, and a huge sound system which took up most of his bedroom. Now, Ross left school at the end of 4th year, and he worked in the Irish McCalls and newsagents. It's a job which has him up at the crack of dawn every morning, and as time went on, the pastimes didn't really mature. We've got fond memories of him cycling around Duchess Woods, Ross always showing off by skidding on the dirt tracks. We had late night drives in our cars to the Esso garage and then Kidston Park. And then there was the fad that was shoving a tube of Mentos into a bottle of Diet Coke as fast as you can to create a fountain. The wonder of explosives also led us on to setting off fireworks at Helensburgh Rugby Club on many occasions. Although one which particularly stands to mind is the occasion when a rocket fell over just prior to liftoff, and it reminded us that Ross was one of the fastest runners in his year group. Now, perhaps it was this interest in gadgets and how things work that led Ross onto the field of engineering. It's a role which requires attention to detail, careful planning, and in knowing that if mistakes are made, the results could be, well, disastrous. A bit like his first attempt to bring his own beer. But through the years, however, he's been a great friend to us all, and I'm sure that he'll be a wonderful husband to Kirsty. That's all from me for now. It's over to Ross McLean.
So, I get the fun part. I get to tell you how they met. Now, for some of you, you of course have heard the story before and even been a part of it. So, bear with me for the people who might not know. So, Ross and Kirsty first date, was in August 2012, pretty much 4 years to the day. They met at Waverley Station and went for a meal. Kirsty remembers that they ended up not being charged for the bottle of wine, which, Ross being ever fiscally minded, was very chuffed at that. But then they went to a show at the Fringe, which Ross chose, and it very nearly all ended there. The show in question was very strange and involved clowns and other odd dressing up. Kirsty thought to herself that if this is the stuff he was into, then he was definitely not for her. Luckily, she could tell he was just as freaked out as her. They both had a good laugh about it afterwards, sitting at a Fringe bar where they would chat for hours and agreed to see each other again. Flash forward to the 25th of June 2015. Ross had been planning the proposal for about 3 months and decided to do it on a long weekend in Fort Augustus, just beside Loch Ness. Once they'd arrived, they went for a walk so Ross could find the perfect spots to propose. Initially, he thought he would found it, but quickly realised that it was on private land and he couldn't even get to it. So with the nerves and adrenaline coursing through his veins, much like today, he had to make excuses to get her back to a point they'd passed earlier. Ross, of course, was worried that she would figure it all out. Kirsty, on the other hand, had absolutely no idea what he was up to. She says in hindsight it was obvious, but on the day she had no clue. So there they were on the banks of Loch Ness. It took a good 5 or so minutes for Ross to get up the courage to finally ask the question. With Kirsty facing the loch, Ross got down on one knee and proposed. And as you may guess, since we are all here today, she said yes. And the ring fitted perfectly. So we're on the home stretch now, and I'll pass you over to the last of our quartet, Williamstown.
Okay, we made it, we're at the end, don't worry, this is the shortest, I got the easiest job. And I can see that we haven't lost many of these Pokemon Go, which is really cool. So today we've learned that Ross is a competitive go-karter, a bit of a fire starter. He has a terrible taste in shows at the Fringe, and I'd say an even worse taste in speechwriters. One thing we haven't mentioned though is about Ross's love for Kirsty. This is the stopping bit. Francois de la Rochefoucauld said, "It is with true love as it is with ghosts. Everyone talks about it, but few people have seen it." Take a look at the newlyweds in front of you, and you will be a part of the group of few people who have seen true love. Ross. Ross, in Kirsty you'll find someone who will give you strength and courage when you need it the most, and happiness the rest of the time. Return the favour, laugh often, love always, and don't take up all the free space with homebrew equipment. It is without further ado that I ask you to join us in raising a glass, thank you, my sister, with us in a toast. To Ross and Kirsty, may today reflect your many future years of marriage together in joy and festivity.